Right, 23 June 2024, and I would like to apologize for the late start. Gambakwe is no longer coming, but I'm here. I'm here. We are not going to go anywhere. As I said to you, this is not easy, and this is not going to be easy. This is the most difficult thing that we've ever done in Zimbabwe, but it's going to be done, and we're going to succeed. So do not be afraid. I'm going to be coming here, and every day when you go to sleep, you are going to be clear about what is happening. We're going to do everything in the open, and we're going to share with you everything. So I want to make it clear that what has happened today is not unexpected and is not new. I have got so much information that I don't share with you here. But what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to share some recordings with you, which I've got in my possession, so that you understand where we are and where we are going, and so that you understand what's happening to Bishop Nyamakanga, so that you understand what's going with the protest, what is going to happen with the protest, and you're going to be very, very clear. So forgive me, I was out in the ocean, so I've got a bit of a cough, but it's okay. We're going to get this done. And I would like all of you to please support us. Do not let go of this important thing that we've started. Expect a good thing to come out of this, and do not be afraid that it's not going to succeed. I know many people are going to be having doubts, but the first 3 weeks of any activity are very, very difficult. The next 3 weeks are even more difficult. So what is going to come in the next 3 weeks is even more difficult. Only after 2 months are we going to have cohesion and clear direction. But the protest itself is not the end. It is just the beginning. We're going towards a period of sustained change. And when I say sustained change, it means we have to continue to do everything that needs to be done. And we must have clear leadership. I've clearly spoken to the people who are organizing the protest that the purpose of Gambakwe is to bring stability, because I know with my political brothers, they like to fight. And you're going to see it in the audios that I'm going to share with what has been happening behind the scenes. So I want to start with what has happened, obviously. Bishop Nyamakanga has issued a letter, and this letter is coming from Bishop Nyamakanga. I'm going to share this letter on Gambakwe within the next 20 minutes, for those who have not seen it. In this letter, Bishop Nyamakanga explains that he was summoned by the police in Harare, and he was questioned. He says there was supposed to be a demonstration in August, but as far as he's concerned, this information that was being put out was edited by bloggers and people who wanted to be mischievous. So I'm going to put this letter up for you. I don't know if Bishop Nyamakanga typed this letter, and I do not know whether it is his statement. I also do not want to put Bishop Nyamakanga in a spot. So as I told you, I know a lot, and unfortunately, I'm in the difficult position that I have to take the blows. Even though I know what is going on, I have to take the blows, and I have to sometimes just accept that this is what happens in this position where I am, where I have to continuously defend what is happening. So I'm going to explain to you what this letter is saying. So in short, this letter is saying Bishop Nyamakanga has decided to withdraw from what is happening. So when I say withdraw, it means he's not going to be a part of what we're doing. So I'm not going to read the full letter, but let's go through what he's saying here. He's saying, Shalom to all my brethren in Jesus Christ, all intercessors, leaders, and concerned citizens of our beautiful country of Zimbabwe. A lot of people have questions on my silence regarding the peaceful march that was being planned for August by the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement. So you should note that he used the word was. So it was being planned. So it means it's no longer planned. My intention was to go to give an update to the church and all intercessors in due course. However, I've now been prompted to make the statement. There are speculations and inaccurate reporting that have been put out on social media. This is now causing further distress to myself and my family. Some bloggers have even gone on to report that I was abducted, and some have suggested that I was brought and paid $1 million by the government. I'm therefore coming out to set the record straight. On Thursday, the 20th of June, I received a message from state agents calling me in the next morning for questioning. They wanted to question me about the planned August peaceful march, which was being organized by the church. On Friday morning, 21 June, I went in for questioning, escorted by my wife and my team. I was questioned about how we were planning to execute the August march and what was our intention as an organization. All these questions were answered truthfully. Our intentions have never been political. However, as a result of edited, exaggerated, and made up statements by certain journalists and politicians who intended to feature the agendas, I was called in for questioning by state agents. A narrative has been presented that our planned march was intended to cause commotion and not peace. Articles have been written using my name with the intention of hijacking our peaceful march. After my meeting with state agents, I have remained quiet as I wait upon the Lord and seek spiritual advice. The assignment was a spiritual instruction, not political. I have to go back for direction from the one that gave me the instruction. At this hour, please respect my silence. We are intercessors, not politicians. Let us continue to pray for our nation as we have been doing all along. Remember, the duty of Zimbabwe Intercessor Movement is to pray for Zimbabwe. That is our mission. Let us continue to pray for Zimbabwe. May God bless you. Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga. So this is the full letter. I'm going to put it on Gambakwe. And I apologize for some of the things that have happened here, which I didn't clarify. I did take some things for granted in the past, and I kept some things away from the public domain. So what I'm going to do from now onwards, I'm going to be revealing everything that happens. And myself, I believe in the freedom of the speech. So if people attack me or call me names, don't feel bad. Don't call me and say, Gambakwe, did you see what this guy said about you? Whatever. We have a mission, and the mission is clear. We need to make sure that our country becomes a success, and Gambakwe Media is going to play a big part because we've got a huge following. We've got the biggest following in the media space in Zimbabwe of any media. That includes printed media, and that includes electronic media. So I have a duty here to make sure that I participate in what is happening. I cannot stand back and stay aloof when things are happening. So you're going to see that I'm going to participate very actively in this period. This is a period of change. Things are going to change in Zimbabwe. And Mnangagwa is not going to be there very soon. I've been telling you this for a very long time. Mnangagwa is not going to be there in a very short space of time. However, what you have to understand is that the next people that are coming are critical. You need new leaders, but you need new responsible leaders. You need new systems. If you put new leaders with this current system that is there, they are going to become exactly like Mnangagwa. So the next person that you put, if you don't put systems in place, they are going to be like Mnangagwa. The next bishop, the next pastor that is going to come is going to be like Pastor Ivan, is going to be like Pastor Bishop Nyamakanga, is going to be I can name as many bishops as you want. That is because you need to support them with a structure. There must be a structure and a purpose to what we do. That is the role of Gambakwe. I need to give you the reality. So on a daily basis, when you go to sleep, you need to have the reality of what's going on. So everything else is noise. The thing that needs to happen is there a protest? When is it going to happen? What are the expected outcomes? Who are the leaders? So let's start with that. There is a protest that is taking place between the 17th and the 19th of August during the summit, SADC summit leaders meeting in Harare. It's over those 3 days. What had happened is Bishop Nyamakanga was supposed to apply for permission from the police for that thing to be held, that protest. So let me type here so that you understand what I'm saying here. So, new protest, new approach to SADC protest. I apologize, guys, because if I just talk and I don't have the words, some of you will say, what is Gambakwe talking about? And I know the great love that you've got for me, and you are my family, all of you here. And we're going to do this great thing. We're going to change our country. And if we fail now, you have to leave this to your son and your daughter. Do you think your son and your daughter can do this? Our parents left us this job. Our parents were afraid of confronting the government of Mnangagwa and the government from Mugabe. Do you think your son and your daughter will do it? That question, I need you to answer it. And that is why I'm saying to you, we've got a big responsibility. This is our generation that can do this, that can make this change. So let me go to where I was. There's going to be a protest between the 17th and 19th of August. That protest is to call for fresh elections and a dialogue. So dialogue, transitional system, Mnangagwa steps down, and fresh election. So let's start again. Dialogue, Mnangagwa steps down, transitional system, fresh elections. 4 things. We want fresh elections. This protest is about fresh elections because the election in Zimbabwe was rigged in August 2023. And after the election, Mnangagwa has gone on to appoint people in parliament that are not supposed to be in parliament. This is the purpose of the protest. And this is how we convened. So when we convened, I'm now going to go into the detail of what happened when we convened. When we convened, there was a party called Zephyr. And I would like General to come here. So it is either General Stole or General Wende. They can come here and confirm what I'm saying. So the Blue Movement and General Wende and General Stole, through conversations, they then approached Bishop Nyamakanga. So General Stole approached Bishop Nyamakanga and asked him to participate in the protest march. However, Bishop Nyamakanga already had a process. And let me explain what was the process. Bishop Nyamakanga had gone to Matopos, he had gone to Mazoe, he had gone to Nyanga. And the reason why he went there was because there was a spiritual instruction that the spiritual strongholds gripping Zimbabwe must be, first of all, be destroyed before the country can change. So the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement was already operational. They were on their side. Zephyr was working on the process for SADC and on their side. The Blue Movement was working on the other side and they were having their own processes. And myself, as a media, I talked to everyone. So everyone came together through me. Every single person that you know in Zimbabwe, I put them together because I know everyone. Everyone has to call me because it's media. If you want to get media coverage, you have to call Gambakwe. So that is how everyone came together. Last week, or at least a little bit more than a week, there was a meeting of all the parties, which was held, electronic meeting, where a direction was decided. And during that meeting, there was contention and disagreement. So after there was contention and disagreement, the guys from the Blue Movement stepped out and said they're no longer going to work through the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement. Good enough for me. I've got a recording of the whole meeting. And tomorrow I'm going to release that recording of that meeting so that you have a picture of what happened. During that period, the Blue Movement and the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement, they said they don't want to work with Zephyr. And I came here and I explained to you that both parties did not want to work with Zephyr because they thought Zephyr was a military outfit. So they do not want to work with Zephyr. General Wende tried to explain as much as he could that Zephyr was not a military outfit, but that was not agreed. So it was agreed that the churches, through Bishop Nyamakanga, would take leadership because the political parties had failed. However, the Blue Movement was of the opinion that this is not correct. The church cannot take leadership, and therefore that is where Bishop Nyamakanga started to take leadership of the process, and it was eventually agreed with the UK groups. So there was a group in the UK that will all work through Bishop Nyamakanga. So I'll play for you that audio tomorrow. There is nothing that is going to be hidden here, and there are no CIOs. No one is a CIO. No one is working from Mnangagwa. Most people just talk. They don't know what they're talking. And I feel sorry for people that want to destroy a protest against Mnangagwa, because you are going to get what I call temporary relief. And then when you wake up, you're going to see Mnangagwa, you're going to see Stukot, you're going to see Wikino, you're going to see Chigumba. And those are the most dangerous people on earth, not Gambakwe. Gambakwe is not a dangerous person. Gambakwe is just trying to help you. Nyamakanga is trying to help you. Blue Movement is trying to help you. Let us be focused. We are just at the point when the Mnangagwa government is coming to an end. The Mnangagwa government is not going to be there. It's illegitimate, and it's agreed. That is the point we are making here, that the Mnangagwa government is illegitimate, and it must be replaced with a new system. So let's be clear. And let them exercise on me, their brother. So don't worry too much when you see people saying, come back with this, come back with that. Give the young guys a chance to exercise on someone safe, someone that won't hate them. So that is perfectly fine. And tomorrow, if you attack me, you wake up and no one is going to attack you. You're going to peacefully walk. That is what it should be like. And I've been telling my brothers today, we want people in the media to be free. So people should be able to criticize anyone without any repercussions. So if we ever have a government in Zimbabwe, a new government, we are going to make sure that people can freely attack their leaders. That is what we want. We want a government where people can freely access and attack their leaders. I have long conversations with the Rumbi, long conversations, like an hour. I can go talking to her. And it has been agreed between me and Rumbi that in the future, people should be able to access their leaders. That is what was agreed. So I don't want you guys to stop watching these young guys. Ana Rumbi, Ana you must you must watch those channels. And then come on, Brother Howard. Brother Howard, call me. I don't want you to this is my number, Brother Howard. Stop it right now. You're an adult. Brother Howard is the only person I don't want to continue what he's doing because he's an adult. I don't expect it from him. I'm a very young person and we're taking responsibility. He is our parent. I want our parents. So anyone older than me cannot attack me. You can only attack me if you're younger than me, because we're trying to fix our country. So I don't want Brother Howard to continue what he's doing. We are trying here to fix our country, and I don't want the elders to attack us while we're doing what we're doing. So now let's go to Mkoma Nomen. I acknowledge your presence. I'm going to put you in a few minutes. So let's go to what happened with the Blue Movement. The Blue Movement then went away. They took some media houses with them. And then inside where Bishop Makanga was, I remind, is the media house. The UK groups were assisting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the budget, the full budget, how much money we received, how much money we used for my ticket to SADC, how much money we received, how much money we gave to Bishop Nyamakanga, a total of $60. That's the only money we gave him. And then what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to pay for Bishop Nyamakanga to travel to SADC. And he insisted on traveling with a delegation of 20. So that was 21 people. And unfortunately, I could not raise the money myself. What was required there was close to $100,000, according to the budget that we had. I then found a fundraiser in Harare. The fundraiser is a lady, I won't name her. She then started to work with Bishop Nyamakanga's secretary, who is based in the UK. And they started to work on a budget and also to approach organizations in Harare for funding. However, the fundraiser said to them, they must have a bank account. Otherwise, there's no organization that will give them money if they don't have a bank account. So that initiative failed. I then approached private people to provide funding for Bishop Nyamakanga to travel. We got money for fuel, and we said Bishop Nyamakanga must find a car. Then they would drive and meet me in Botswana. Unfortunately, they couldn't find a car. None of their members had a 4x4. I put adverts here on Gambakwe for them to come, for people to give a 4x4. None was forthcoming. So what we ended up deciding was that we would then have to find the car, or I'll find someone from South Africa to drive and go and pick them up in Zimbabwe and take them to SADC. Unfortunately, there was a disagreement because Bishop Nyamakanga wanted to print 3,000 letters and send those 3,000 letters to different churches. But our funder here in South Africa said, that's an individual, it's not an organization, said the money that they have must not be used for anything else but to move the people to SADC and to SADC to meet and do effect finding, which is the process that was supposed to happen. Go to SADC and do effect finding. So unfortunately, after that disagreement, the whole process stopped of us getting Bishop Nyamakanga to go to SADC. We then went on to the issue of announcing the protest. My office in Harare is very small. So I offered the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement my office. You can go to my office and do your press conference over there. But then they said they don't feel safe going to my office. They want to do it at, I think, the Zimbabwe Media Center. I've never been there. So I said to them, how much does that cost? It costs $200. And they were supposed to pay for it. And unfortunately, we don't have that money to pay for a press conference, $200, because they say that's where all their stuff is. Their stage and everything is over there. So also that press conference then moved. It moved somewhere else. And I put an advert for you. If you go to Gambakwe, you see the press conference advert. It's supposed to be held on the 28th of June. And I've put all the details for you. So this is full transparency. Where we are now, let's start tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to travel to Botswana. I'm going to try my best to meet the proper and relevant stakeholders at SADC. And we're going to have a conversation, whether private or public. If they agree, we're going to have them here. The question we need to ask is, what can SADC do? What letters is SADC written to Zimbabweans? Where are we exactly? What is the position of SADC? And I'm hoping that Executive Secretary Mahosi will agree to meet me, or anyone else at SADC who knows. Where exactly are we with the Zimbabwe situation, so that we don't mislead people? Because I know that a lot of people are misleading others. So we're going to go and try to get a proper information of where are we, which letters have been written by SADC, which letters have been written to SADC, where is the position, who is dealing with Zimbabwe in SADC. Then we'll report back to you here. However, that does not stop the protest. The protest is still going on between the 17th and the 19th of August. We still need to raise funds. That is very important. So when we're in Botswana, remember, we're going to start the fundraising process. And we've started the flag sale. We're going to be selling the flag. So please buy the flag. I've shown you guys where to buy the flag. You just WhatsApp this number here. We're selling the flag for 200 rand, 200 pula, and 10 pounds. When I travel, I'll bring your flag. Help us to sell the flag so that we can get money to travel. We need approximately 20,000 US dollars right now to get to travel. Just me traveling, I need 20,000 US dollars. And then I'll let you know who else is going to travel. In terms of spiritual guidance, we've got Pastor Marange is still with us, and the other pastors who I won't name because I don't know if they're comfortable with being named. So that is where we are currently. And then in terms of, sorry guys, I apologize, I've been talking so much. Let me put my brothers here so that they're in the room with me. Good. Can I just finish this explanation and then I'll take it from there?
That's fine. That's all right. Just
okay. All right. So guys, I'm so sorry because I tend to go on, and we need to make sure that we're clear. So the clarity is this. And so I've explained to you everything that happened from the beginning. the role of Zephyr, the role of the Blue Movement, the role of Bishop Nyamakanga, and who are the key players and where we are now. Next, we're going to go to SADC. Then we're going to go to Zambia. Zambia, between the 9th, the 7th, and the 9th, there's going to be a meeting of the Troika. We need to be there. We need funds. So the funds is going to be through the flag, raising the flag. We're going to sell the flag. And then obviously your donation at fumojena.com. One thing you must understand, so there are people who come to me and say, Gambakwe, we've donated money. So we heard Rumbi saying that you are like this, and then we're going to stop. Guys, you are stopping your own thing. You are stopping your own progress if you stop helping this process. There is no one who's going to help us. And Gambakwe is not the one who is going to suffer. Everyone is going to suffer. And as I said, I want us to allow the young guys to criticize Gambakwe. But what I don't want is the older people to criticize us. So, Brother Howard, I don't want him to criticize me because he's an adult. Mana Rusike, Wakuru, Makanga Rusike, Avandi criticize one Wakuru. I don't want anyone older than me to support Mnangagwa because there are people who should know. They should know what is happening. Tomorrow I'm going to reveal to you more what is happening with my tenders. When in Zimbabwe, they are quiet in the face of an outrageous thing that is happening in Zimbabwe right now. And our adults must not talk. I don't want to hear an adult person talking against us. So if Munumukuro and the attacker, I become cross because that person is an adult. I expect the younger guys to say, Gambakwe this, Gambakwe that, but I don't expect an adult to go after me. So that is basically where we are. The protest is going to continue and it's going to be difficult. We're going to have to bring everyone together. And I bank on Pastor Marange. Pastor Marange has issued a message tonight. I'm going to put it on Facebook and YouTube in the morning, earlier or later on tonight. Pastor Marange is there. There are other pastors. Guys, let's continue and let's not stop. This is a black swan. When I talk of a black swan, I'm talking about the only time there's going to be all the SADC presidents in Zimbabwe. No one is going to get arrested. No one is going to get killed by Mnangagwa during that time. I'm going to be personally there. And you're going to see me walking in Harare nicely. And then I'm going to be there for 2 weeks and I will leave. No one is going to get killed. And the Mnangagwa government is coming to an end. So as we said in the beginning, this is about fresh elections. This is about Mnangagwa stepping down. This is about a transitional system. And this is about dialogue. Those are the things this thing is about. It's not about anything else. But before we start, like as suggested yesterday by General Stone, we need to go to SADC and sit down with them. And we mustn't work on the basis of lies. So people are lying and telling us, oh, this happened and that happened. We need to go to SADC and say, SADC, tell us what letters you've written to Zimbabweans and what letters Zimbabweans have written to you. And then we present to them the problem that is there in Zimbabwe and we come up with a solution. But Gambakwe is the place where you're going to get information and updates because my brothers like to fight. So they like to fight, and you're going to see tomorrow when I issue that video how much they fight behind the scenes. So I think I've done enough here, and I want to start with my brothers. Good,
let me start by saying, right, all that happened to Bishop Nyamakanga and everything that is happening behind the scenes, right? We shouldn't say taken by surprise that these things happened or this thing is going to happen. Worse things is going to happen because the intimidation is going to continue, the persecution is going to continue. But we have to be resolute on our agenda. Yes, go to SADC. I don't care about that letter that they written to that political party. That was written to a political party. You have a petition that has been. It was you have the petition that was signed by more than 1,000 Zimbabweans. That's our basis. We don't care what SADC write to who. No, this is the Zimbabwean agenda. Zimbabwean people We don't care about political parties. This is what you're gonna present to them, what the Zimbabweans want. That's it. Establish this is what the Zimbabwean want to SADC. Whatever from SADC either. Right?
All right, I don't know, I'm hearing the echo. We're hearing echo here.
Sorry guys, I'm driving to work. My apologies. And you know I got problems.
Okay, we hear you,
trying to connect most
Thank you
of
very
the
much
time.
because we can't hear you properly. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Right, Mkoma Taka, Masora say, what do you have to say tonight?
I don't have much to say. We still continue. Obviously, as the previous speaker said, intimidation is expected, and it shall continue, and it shall intensify, and it should not frighten us. If they are working flat out to try to stop us, it means we are forced to reckon with. So you continue and you go to SADC. Yes, we may not worry about what SADC has written to people in Zimbabwe, but what it will give us, a basis to decide who is a faithful leader. If they have been received a particular position of SADC and they've not availed to us, something is wrong there. And if they have written something to SADC and have not availed to us what they have written to SADC, that means we may begin to question their sincerity in engaging with us. So that is the value of what you will be getting from what anybody has written to SADC and what SADC has written to individuals in Zimbabwe. But what is important is what is they are going to respond to us as we go to SADC. So that's all I can say today, Gambakwe. And we are.
Thanks, Mkomataka. And I'm sorry we've talked for so much, so I need us to just quickly run through. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Okay, that's all
right. Right, Mkoma Numen, please put on your sound.
Right. Thanks, Gambakwe.
Yes, how are you doing, Mkoma?
I'm not going to take much of your time or much of the people's time because we have been here for a long time. The thing is, the struggle will not stop when one person withdraws or when one person has been abducted or whatever situation is they gone through. The struggle continues. If you are in the war when one soldier is shot and died, we don't stop the war. We continue. We strategize. So this is what we are going to do. You continue with the SADC journey. We collect as much information as we can, and then we use that information no matter whatever other person has got, because we are we are Zimbabweans and we move as Zimbabweans. We are not going to stop because so and so is accusing someone. Let's just keep on pushing, guys. If pachona ndikana mkaona zvinhu zvanyanya kunetsa kudai zvakuda kusvika pakunaka, saka pakudiwa varume manje. Regai vanotatarika vachitatarika vachiramba vachibvunza mubvunzo kuti uyu akamira nani, uyu akamira nani. Isusu tichirova road, tichirova ndima. Tinoda varume vari kurova ndima. Vazhinji vari kuaccusana havasati vaona nhamo, vachiri kuda kuramba vachingoita basa rekuaccusana. Isusu tiri kuda kufambira mberi nestruggle yatatanga iyi. Inofanira kusvika kuti tiwane result, and the result is almost closer. So we need not to listen to all these petty issues of accusing each other of saying this. Yes, pastor vakadedzwa vakanobvunzwa zvavakawanana nazvo ikokoka zvakadhirela, but isusu tiri kuda kuramba tichiita move on. We are not. We will sympathize with him. We will look after him. But isusu hazvisi kuita kuti timire situation yatiri. Tikuramba tichikontinya. Kana maenda kuSADC, yasowana information yese. That information will let us know who has received what, and from there we move on.
Right, Mkoma Ntinotenda, thank you very much, Mkoma Numen. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk to you. Okay,
good.
Have a nice night.
Right, Mkoma Mike, please quickly jump on and let's talk. I need to quickly wrap this up. Muripa mute. You are on mute, Mkoma. Okay, guys, I'm trying to explain to Mkoma my kuti is on mute.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah. I'm really sorry about Bishop Nyamakanga, that he was he was convinced by force.
Yes, we can hear you, Mkoma.
Yeah, something is.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Proceed.
Right. So I'm really sorry that he was convinced by force by the government so that he can withdraw from the protest, but it is not a reason why the protest shouldn't go ahead. And as you said before you started, that there are many people that are involved in this, and we should all support this effort so that everyone can. So that this thing can go ahead and it can be a success. And I'm trying to urge everyone that maybe has been disillusioned by things that are coming from these other channels, from these youngsters, to just say, hold fast. There are times when people like Morgan Tsvangirai were protesting, at times when people were saying it's no use, it's not the right time to protest, it's not the right time to do this. They did, and what resulted was a GNU, and we all know what were the benefits of the GNU. Right now, we have a certain direction. We do not want the repeat of what happened with the GNU, because after a short period of things being stable, and ZANU-PF again took over, so they re-strategized and took over. So this time we need something new. We need a clean slate, and everyone should be involved. Everyone should contribute towards the success of this thing. Thank you, Gambakwe.
Thank you, Mkoma, Michael, and I really appreciate your support. I want us to bring this to an end. Then tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 5 a.m. So thank you very much, Mkoma. I will let you go. Right. So I think let's wrap up, and let's not go without an understanding. First and foremost, Bishop Nyamakanga has written a letter. In that letter, he has basically disassociated himself with a protest that is calling for a fresh election, Mnangagwa to step down, a transitional system, and dialogue. He says he's not into all those things. I'm going to post the letter on Gambakwe, and I've given you a rundown of what happened since the protest started. I've given you a rundown of everything that has happened. I've also given you the future direction, which is that we're going to continue, we're not going to stop. But before we continue, we must go to SADC and understand what is going on. So I apologize for a little bit of background noise. So we're going to get a background of what is really happening. How many letters have been written to SADC? How many letters have been written back to Zimbabweans? And we're going to share all that information with you. I'm going to travel to Botswana tomorrow. Then on the 9th, I'm going to travel. On the 7th, I'm going to travel to Zambia. And then after that, I'm going to travel to the UK. I would like to ask all of you to please assist us, continue with your donations. And tomorrow, I'm going to provide a statement. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll provide a statement of all that money we've received, how much has been spent. It is not really a lot of money. You're going to see. There are people who had promised to cover the expenses. They didn't come through. And we know their names. We can reveal their names if you want. So this is what is going to happen. And then today, I'm going to share the letter. Tomorrow, I'm going to share the meeting that took place between the Blue Movement, Bishop Nyamakanga, and all the other groups that were organizing, where it was agreed that Bishop Nyamakanga would take over as the one who's going to lead the protest. I'm going to share that letter for transparency so that you understand how Bishop Nyamakanga became the leader of the protest, so that there's no doubt about who is who and who was involved. And anyway, the good thing is that the media houses were there. There are many other media houses that were present in that meeting. Then please buy the flag. Go to our number here. WhatsApp me once you've paid the money, 200 rands or 200 pula. or 10 pounds. That is the money that we need for us to move around and buy the flags. So this week is critical. I'm going to be giving you updates from Botswana, and everything is going to be fine. Don't worry. Do not be concerned about everything else that is happening. Like I said, this is a critical moment. There's going to be change in our country. If you miss this moment, you're going to look back and say, oh my God, I should have done something. And some people are going to miss this. We're going to have new leaders. And the new leaders are going to emerge. There is a prophecy right now that new leaders are going to emerge in this country. And I believe it. I believe it's going to happen. And then in terms of the flag, Mkoma, go to Gambakwe, you see the details about the flag. It's a full-size flag of Zimbabwe. In fact, if you look behind me, let's see if I've got it. There. That is the flag of we are asking about. It's like you can cover your whole body in that flag. That is how big it is. And if you want to donate, you go to fumogena.com. That is where all the details of donation are. We're not going to stop, guys. You are going to see a change in this country. And as long as I'm there, every night you're going to get an update. And we are going to erase everything that is said on that day. When you go to bed, you're going to erase everything. God has given us the power to do this. And our people have suffered enough. There is no country that has had people suffer so much like Zimbabwe. People have died. People have lost relatives. People have lived years in the diaspora with nothing to show for it. God is going to remember us this year, and we're going to go back to our country of Zimbabwe, and we're going to build an amazing country. These guys who are there, who are abusing our state resources, you are going to see them no more very, very soon. They won't be there, and they know it. There is no country where there's so much looting. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you what's happening, the new deal of $1 billion. And I'm going to show you what has happened. So let us stand firm and make sure that we've got true leaders who are available to take over when these guys go. We need a new leadership in Zimbabwe. It's clear that the whole crew that is there in the government, in the judiciary, in all these state-owned enterprises, they are not fit for purpose. And we need new leaders, and this needs a push. We need a push, and the protest needs to come during the SADC summit. So I'd like to thank all of you for all your attention, and I really thank you for all your support. And as I'm saying, I will never, ever back down on this thing that we're doing here. This is a spiritual duty. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you again in the morning, 5 a.m. Please join us for the morning breakfast broadcast where I share with you the news. Thank you very much, and a good night.